Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Kerrville Weekly News Roundup, hosted by the co founders of the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. That would be myself, Andrew Gay, Mr. Gilbert Pies, Mr. Tom Fox, and Tom is out today. So it's just Gilbert and I. What we do is a quick rundown of our favorite or eye catching news articles or interests that we caught a hold of this week, and we're just going to talk about them a little bit. So it's a quick rundown to close out our week here. Looks like the sun actually came out today here in Kerrville. It was a little foggy this morning, and it was cloudy yesterday and the day before. And unfortunately, we didn't get any rain, so that was a little sad, but it's okay. We'll hopefully next go round. That's nothing new for us here in this area. So okay, so Gilbert, you want to kick us off? I think we're each going to do like two articles here. That were newsworthy that we saw that happened this week. So go ahead, go for it.
Okay, thank you very much, Andrew. There's two things I wanted to talk about today that I thought were pretty interesting for this week. The first one is Kerrville has a new business that just opened. It's called the Panaderia Montoto. Yes,
Si, senor.
there you go. What'd you call me? This place, it's a Mexican bakery, and that's in Spanish. A panaderia is a bread shop, technically, but they actually serve, from their Facebook posts that I've seen, all kinds of Mexican pastries and Mexican bread that I think would, are probably going to be fantastic. All the reviews I've seen on Facebook have been rave reviews. I haven't gone over there myself personally, but I'm really excited about it. In fact, I think I might try to go this afternoon. They're right up the street here from the office. They're right on the corner of 534 and no, I'm sorry, not 534. They're on the corner of the intersection of Highway 16 and 173.
Yeah, 173.
Yeah, 173 and Highway 16, right next to Carmine's.
Yes.
The address is...
It's 1166 Sidney Baker Street
Thank you,
South.
Andrew.
And I don't think they have a website up and running or linked to their Google profile, but I was showing that there.
Yeah,
it has their address.
They just opened at the end of February, so if they're only been open for a couple of weeks. But yeah, I think that's amazing. That's what Kerrville needs. We need a Mexican sweetbread shop. They serve, from all the pictures I looked at, just about everything you could imagine, and of course it's all good, I'm sure, and it's all healthy too.
It's all sugar free and gluten free.
Yeah, of course. Well, I don't know about sugar free, but it's definitely healthy.
And I don't know if you guys have ever been to one of those, but I can tell you, it's like the smell right when you walk in the door. It's amazing.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be amazing. So I would encourage everybody that if you've got some time and you like a change from maybe just the traditional donut or kolache or something like that, to maybe give these folks a shot, because Kerrville needs that, and it's too bad that it's over here south of the river. If it was in the center of town, it would be easier to get to for everybody. But if you really want it, you can come over here south of the river.
Hey, listen, for those folks of us that live on this side of the river, that's okay. It's a lot closer and easier for us over here.
I've been out of shape because I live on the other side of town, but that's all right. I have to come over here anyway to go to work. So Panaderia Montoto, please give it a shot. I'm sure they're very good, and I'm going to get some this weekend, if not today, tomorrow, and I will share a review with y'all myself for next week. I make that pledge, and I'll try one of everything. Well, maybe not one of everything, but a little bit of something over there. So that's one of my stories that I wanted to put out there. And then the other story I thought was really interesting was, if you didn't get a chance to go and attend the Arcadia Theater this week to look at the newest documentary from our friend Allison Amestoy.
Lewis's daughter.
Yeah, Lewis Amestoy's daughter. She created a documentary. It's called The Voices of Doyle, and it's a documentary where she interviews several of our neighbors who attended the Doyle School. And for those that don't know, Doyle School before desegregation was the school for African American kids, and they went, from what I understand, from first grade all the way up to 12th grade at that campus. But after desegregation, they were able to go and attend the regular school with everybody else. But a lot of your neighbors that live here in Kerrville used to go to that school when they didn't have any other choices. And Allison interviewed several of the folks, and most of them still live here in town. I think, in fact, I think if I remember correctly, all of them still live here in town. So these stories are not lost. But it's important that she interviewed all these people because I'm sure a lot of them haven't probably told their story to that many people, and it's something that even in a small town like Kerrville, you would think, okay, maybe we didn't have race riots and busing issues and protests and things of that nature, but if you don't think that racial segregation affected the people that live here, that currently live here, well, you're really not being honest with yourself. And at some point, there needs to be a little bit of a reckoning about how our neighbors were treated in the past. It was wrong, and obviously we're doing a lot better. But we still got a long way to go. And I think Voices of Doyle, the documentary itself, is a powerful story that all of us should look at and say, hey, listen, you know what? We can do better. We should do better. Let's keep trying to improve our community for all of the residents, no matter who they are right now. So, Voices of Doyle, please catch it if you can. I think there's going to be another uh, showing of the documentary at the Doyle School. I don't have that date in front of me, but I know there's a couple of other showings that are going to be played before Allison, I think, entered the documentary into a film festival in Fredericksburg in a few weeks. So she can only show it once or twice more, I think, before it goes into the judging category of the film festival that it's part of. But anyway, Voices of Doyle, catch it if you can. And if you can't catch it anytime soon, we'll try to keep you updated on when it's available and people could look at it on their own free time when they're able to.
Yeah, and the original premiere of that was at the Arcadia Live Theater just the other day. And there are some wonderful pictures on Facebook of the event and the attendees. So check it out. We can't really show Facebook on here, but if you have Facebook, you can look it up and it's pretty easy to find. So for my couple of news picks for the week, the first one is there was an enormous drug bust. And I mean, this is like really, really big. It was a multi-agency effort, so it wasn't just the Kerr County Sheriff's Office and those that are here locally, but and I'm not actually even sure what other agencies were involved. But it went on. It was a multi-day deal where it went from February 22nd, I think was the date, to March 2nd, and they seized about $8 million in drugs and 27 kilos of cocaine and about 56 kilos of methamphetamine. And those are crazy numbers. And this hit several news outlets, including, I think the Kerrville Daily Times and some others here locally too. But this was KENS 5. I just Googled it real quick and this is what came up. So you could just put that in if you really wanted to read a little bit more about it. But I mean, that we got to remember that I-10 runs right through Kerr County, and it's in its position where, and I've heard the sheriff's office talk about this multiple times, how a lot of counties previously and in years past have kind of turned a blind eye to that and say, well, things just flow through here. It doesn't necessarily affect our town in the same ways that it otherwise would, being that it's an interstate. But still, a lot of that trafficking, whether it's human trafficking or in this case drug trafficking, still comes through here. So it's a really big deal. And I think the sheriff's office has really ramped up efforts to not turn a blind eye to that and try to set the tone and a new standard for taking care of business when it comes to that piece of the I-10 corridor that comes right through our county, right here in our backyard. So that was one. And then number two is actually just got a notification about an event that is hosted. Is going to be hosted by the Historical Downtown Business Alliance, and of course, that's a group of folks that own businesses in or around, or have or stakeholders around downtown Kerrville. And we know there's plenty of history there, just like Gilbert was just talking about with the history of some of our other friends and neighbors here in Kerrville. The downtown area is rich with history as far as Kerrville's founding, and there's still businesses that operate in that area, and they want to protect that and try to conserve that, the best that they can. So that Historical Downtown Business Alliance is hosting an event that they call March Madness, and that's March 25th. I believe that's a Saturday. It's going to be from 2 to 10 p.m. So it'll be all day. They'll have vendors, they'll have live music, some arts and crafts things, I believe, going on out there, and whatnot. So especially if the weather's nice, we're getting into the months where it can really be beautiful weather here around the hill country. So I'm really looking forward to that. Hopefully the weather holds out and it'll be a great event. So just wanted to throw that out there. I thought that was newsworthy for this week. And with that, since Tom is not here, it's just Gilbert and myself. That'll do it for this week's Kerrville Weekly News Roundup from the Texas Hill Country Podcast Network. Hope you folks have a great and safe weekend, and we will catch you here next week. Thanks so much.